All right, in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to review some of these questions from Chapter 4 that have to do with shapes. So let's start this one. This is one of our review questions in our review pages, and we have here is we have a shape, a rectangle. And we do assume that you have some knowledge of the basic shapes. So the basic shapes are rectangles and squares. And so here we have the length and width of a rectangle. We're reading it. The length and width of a rectangle are represented by 3x plus 2, see it here, and 2x minus 1, right here. If the rectangle has a perimeter, so I'm going to highlight keywords as I'm reading it, and you're always allowed to highlight. So highlight perimeter of 52 centimeters, find the value of x. So what we need to do is we need to set up our own equation. So I like to label this as well. So 3x plus 2 and then 2x minus 1, right? So these are the same and those are the same. So what you can do is you can do this two different ways. For A, I want to find the value of x by adding up all the sides and making it equal to 52. So I know that the perimeter is going to be 2 times the length plus 2 times this, width. 2 times the width, that's my fault. 2 times the width. Okay? Doesn't matter which one you call length and which one you call width, because it's twice both the sides. So I'm going to say 52 equals 2 times, and then again, it doesn't matter which one goes first, as long as you do 2 of each. Now some people might ask, can I just add up all 4 sides? Yes, you can go 3x plus 2, 2x minus 1, plus 3x plus 2, plus 2x minus 1. You can do it that way as well. I'm showing you this way just because this is usually the more typical way that you would do it. You do twice each side. But you can still add up all the sides, and you would still get the same thing. So on this side here, you would end up with 6x plus 4, 2 times 2, and then 4x minus 2. So then you would say, okay, I'm going to gather all the variables with all the terms with the variable on one side. So we've got these guys here, and then all the numbers on the other side. Remember that this line here, this equals, is my barrier. So anything that crosses this needs to change operation. So if I leave the 2x's on the right side, and I want the 6x and the 4x on the right side, and I want to move these numbers with no variables on the other side, this one moves, and this one moves. So these arrows mean that they cross over this barrier. So that means they're going to change to be the opposite. So 52 minus 4, and then this becomes, and I wrote the 52, it didn't change, so I just write it as is. And then, don't change it. This one becomes a minus 4. This one, minus 2, becomes a plus 2. Try to line up the equal signs here, and you'll notice one more time, I say this every time, or not every time, but a lot of times, here on the left-hand side, nothing is happening, no equals. Okay, and then we got 6x plus 4x left on the right side. So if you do 52 minus 4, it's 48, plus 2 gets me back to 50. I did that a bit fast. Okay, and then you're dividing both sides by 10. Both sides by 10. That cancels this out to be 1. And then you're left with 5 equals x. That is the answer for the value of x, so for A. Then it asks you to find the length and the width. So if you're asked to find the length and the width, like this, the length and the width, I just do a line so I can see. It's a different question. So for B, I want to find length. And you want to title it. You want to say what you're doing. So it's basically like you're explaining your thinking a little bit or explaining your steps. So to find the length, you're going to go back up, and I'll consider this one the length and that one the width. It doesn't matter which way as long as we see one of each, because we didn't tell you which was length and which was width. So I'm going to go 3x plus 2 would equal, and I'm going to find the length, and I'm going to take this x value and sub it in. So it's going to be 3, and see this x value here? That's 5. So 3 times 5, and then plus 2. And we want to use brackets, not the time symbol, because the time symbol gets confused with x's too much. Order of operations says I do 3 times 5 first, so 15 plus 2, and that's 17. I'm also going to find the width. Okay, so find width. This is separate. Okay, so this is separate, and I'm going to take the 2x minus 1 as my width. And again, if you did these two backwards, it would be fine. 2x minus 1. And then you're going to go same thing, so 2, and then you take this answer here, the 5, and put it in for the x, and then minus 1. So this will be 10 minus 1, which is 9. I always want a concluding sentence to kind of wrap up everything that you just said. So we want to say, okay, so now what was my full answer? I didn't need a concluding sentence for this one because it was just find x. You just found the variable and you stopped. But here, find the length and width. I want you to say, you can use this symbol. It's a little 3 triangles, point at the top. That means therefore, right? You don't have to put the word therefore, but I like to do it. So therefore, the length is 17, and do we have units? Centimeters. Centimeters, and width is 9 centimeters. So this is the point where you want to make sure that you add the units to it, and a sentence has no symbols. So no equal sign, nothing else. So we want a sentence. So other than the symbol at the front. The length is, not equals, and the width is, not equal. So no symbols here. We want to just have a full, nice little sentence. Okay, so let's practice a few more. So on this page here, again, some more review questions that we gave you. We have given the sum of the angles of a triangle is 180. Okay, is 180. Find the measure. I'll zoom in a little bit. Is 180. Find the measure of each angle in the following triangle. So then they said here, I'm going to highlight this, the sum of the angles of the triangle is 180. Right? So that means that all of these added together. So sum means addition. So if we add up all of those, it equals 180. So we're going to go 2x plus 6x plus 4x. So take all 3 of those, and it equals 180. Okay, I'm going to take off the degrees, and I'll just put the degrees on at the end. So all of the variables are on one side already. Look, 1, 2, and there's nothing without a variable. No terms without a variable. So I can keep that on one side. 6 plus 4 plus 2. 2 plus 6 is 8, and that's 12. So it'll be 12 x's equals 180, and then we're going to divide both sides by whatever's in front of the x, exactly in front, to make that 1. And then 180 divided by 12 is going to get me exactly a nice number. So it's 180 divided by 12 is 15. So this x is 15. Okay, then we're not done because it says, so make sure you answer the question asked. It says, find the measure of each angle in the following triangle. So we found the x. You always have to check to see what you're supposed to answer. So each angle, so again here, I didn't leave a lot of room. This was a shrunken question. It's supposed to be on a full page. So it's supposed to be a little wider. So find the angles. So remember, I want a title saying what's happening. Otherwise, it's just a whole bunch of calculations and you can't really follow it. So I need you to tell me what's going on, and then you're going to go, so 2x will equal 2, and then grab your 15 from here. So x is now 15. So put that in, and that gets me 30. I'm going to do that again. I'm going to do that for 4x. So 4x equals 4 times 15. I'm using purple here for 15. And 4 times 15 is 60. And then over here, sorry, the last one I'm going to put way over here because it's going to be, and again, usually I'd give you more room, but I was saving paper and this is a half sheet, so normally this would be on a full sheet, so it'd be wider. 6 times, and then I'm going to grab the 15 from here again. And 6 times 15 is 90. So 30, so 90, right? And then you would say, so therefore the angles are are 30 degrees, 60 degrees, 90 degrees. Okay, and again, sorry, it's a bit squishy because I was saving paper and I made it into a smaller sheet. Okay, so let's do this one. Let's read it. find the length of the sides. We want to find the length, so at the end, find the length of the sides. Okay, so we're going to have to find that at the end to answer it. The perimeter, this is what we're given, the perimeter is 71. So the perimeter is 71, which means adding them all up again. So you have to know, we do assume that you know perimeter for a shape is when you add up all the sides. So I can give you any type of shape, and you're adding up the sides like this, just adding them up. So 2x plus x plus 5 plus 3x, and that should equal 71. Okay, so you're going to keep all of your terms with the variable on one side, and then move this one across the barrier. And this is my barrier. You don't have to highlight it, but for your notes, I'm trying to show you my thinking. So you leave the 2x plus x plus 3x on this side, and we go 71 minus 5. 2x plus an invisible 1, remember there's 1, so 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 3 is 6x. And so 71 minus 5 would be 66. Right, 71 minus 5 is 66. And then we're going to divide both sides by whatever's in front of the x to make that a 1x. So it'll be x equals 11. Okay, so that's a 6. Find the length of the sides. So we're going to, I run out of room here, so we're going to find lengths of sides. Okay, and again, I'm so sorry because I made this question, I shrank the page. So I'm going to write a little bit smaller. So for one side, I'm going to go 2x, and I'm going to grab the 11, so 2 times 11, so 22. Okay, I'm going to do the x plus 5, and that'll be put the 11 in, 11 plus 5, which is 16. Okay, and again, you can see I'm still trying to organize my answer, right? So I want to make sure that you can read it, and this is how you want to organize your answer to me, right? 3 times an 11, and that's 33. So therefore, and I'm going to put the answer over here. Okay, and normally I would give you more room for this. So therefore, the sides are 22. And do we have units? Go back to the question. Find the length of the sides of the triangle given the perimeter. 71. So centimeters, comma, 16 centimeters, and 33 centimeters. So if you ever run out of room, a big swoopy arrow, and then you can bring your teacher's eye over and say, okay, that's where my answer is. So you can see I'm trying to organize my answer, so if you read it, you can see what's going on. Okay, so one more time, we have a rectangle. The perimeter, they gave you a hint and said, is 2 times the length and 2 times the width. Right, so we know it's 2 times this. We know it's 2x plus 1 and x minus 3. So the perimeter, if the perimeter of the following triangle, so a rectangle, is 68. So you know what equals 68. I want you to find the dimensions. So the dimensions here, this word here, sometimes people say, what does that mean? You always have to know what that means. That means the length and width. So width and length, okay? The dimensions are, and if it was something with height, you would say the height or the radius if it was a circle. So dimensions is whatever's missing, like the length, width, height, or radius, any of that. Okay, so here we're going to put this together. So the perimeter is 68 equals 2 times 2x plus 1 and 2 times x minus 3. Okay, so remember dimensions. You do have to know the word dimensions. So I'm going to note that down. So dimensions. You have to know what that means. That means you're finding the missing, whatever the dimensions are. It could be length and width. Could be radius, height, whichever. Okay, so that word you have to know. And then you're going to bring this in. We're going to keep going. So 68 equals 4x, so 2 times 2, plus 2, and 2x minus 6. Again, I'll go through a little faster here. These guys have to hop over the equal sign, right? This is my barrier. Okay, and then that means it becomes 68 minus 2 and plus 6 equals 4x plus 2x. Some people can go faster here, and they would have already done 6x. That's fine. So 68 minus 2 is 66, plus 6 is 72. And I know that might take you a bit longer, and you could have added that. So don't skip too many steps. Remember, this year is all about writing proper steps. We have a good form for next year. Okay, and then find. So now we found the x. You want to answer the question. We want to find the dimensions. Okay, so that word dimensions, I need you to know. Dimensions means we're going to find the length and the width. Okay, so that's what that means. So we're finding each one. So then for the length, it doesn't matter which is which, but I'll do 2x plus 1. So that would be 2 times 12 plus 1. I'm taking the x and subbing it in. See, subbing it in. So 24 plus 1. If you run out of room, so 25. Okay, for the next one, I'm going to get x minus 3. So this will be, take the x and you're putting it into here, right? So that'll be 12 minus 3, so 9. So therefore, the dimensions are 25, and go back for the units, otherwise you do lose marks if you don't have the units, centimeters by 9 centimeters, and that's the answer. Excuse this stuff here, these are just the answers for the questions above. Okay, I hope that helped.